Everyone thinks Ottawa's hottest neighborhoods are Westboro, the Glebe, and Rockcliffe Park. But here's the plot twist. The real opportunities aren't really in that area. There are 5 overlooked pockets of the city where prices are lower, demand is building, and value is about to explode. In this video, I'll show you the hidden Riverside gems, the central neighborhoods with $1 million neighborhoods, but at half the price, and the suburbs that are about to become Ottawa's next big thing. Trust me, you're gonna look at Ottawa real estate differently after this video. Let's start with what makes a neighborhood underrated. When I say underrated, I don't mean cheap. I mean an underrated neighborhood has location, close to jobs, transit, or the river, but without the big price tag. Secondly, lifestyle. So parks, trails, schools, and community feel. Next, probably the biggest is value. What is the cost? Home prices below nearby comparable areas. And finally, upside. So signs of growth like new LRT, so the light rail transit, hospitals, or redevelopment. These are the places where buyers get more for their money today and see stronger appreciation tomorrow. Number 1, Crystal Beach. Crystal Beach sits in Ottawa's west end along the Ottawa River. It's one of the city's most underrated spots, in my opinion. The average price point sits between $699,000 right up to $755,000, depending on the lot size and updates. Still far well below Westboro's average $1 million price tag of like 1.1 to 1.2. The home styles in Crystal Beach, they would be mostly bungalows with side splits from the 1960s to 1970s, with some townhomes in the late 70s and 80s. The location, so proximity from downtown, you're about 15 minutes or you're about 10 minutes west to the Canada Tech Hub. So you're right beside the river. It's a great spot. Lifestyle surrounded by Andrew Hayden Park and the Nepean Sailing Club, and tons of bike trails that'll bring you right into Westboro or all the way out to Canada. The upside, Stage 2 LRT will boost connectivity and demand. If you want family-friendly Riverside lifestyle without paying premium neighborhood prices, Crystal Beach is the underdog to watch. I'm going to take you right in now in live time to a map view of where this location actually is. So this is Ottawa proper, and I'm just going to pull into there. See right here, we have Crystal Beach, and then we see Ottawa right here. So I'm just going to do a little radius circle and just show you what is happening in there. You're going to see the different results. So right now there's 4 properties on the market. Price point coming in at what I shared, $699, right up to $874. Let's pull into this property right here. This property here, $739,900, 71 days on market. So this tells me it's been on the market for some time. Let's take a look at some of the photos. Property here built in late 1960s. Proximity to downtown. So here's a map view. This is the property here. Ottawa River right here. Britannia Club here. Andrew Hayden Park. Highway Auto right here. So Crystal Beach, this area right here, underrated pocket that I would strongly recommend you keep on your radar as you're looking at areas in Ottawa to buy. Next, we have Manor Park. Manor Park sits between Rockcliffe Park and Beechwood Village. It shares the geography of Ottawa's wealthiest enclave, but somehow remains overlooked. Average price point, detached homes run between $750,000 right up to $1.5 million, depending on size and updates. So you may be thinking like Liam, like $1.5 million. That's a lot of money. You're talking about underrated properties. Well, keep in mind, this is right beside Rockcliffe Park. Rockcliffe Park is by far the most expensive area in Ottawa as a whole. Average price point in Rockcliffe Park is like $2 million plus. So $1.5 million doesn't seem that bad. That's why it's the underrated pocket. Semi-detached and row townhomes, you can find some properties between that $500,000 to $700,000 range. Now let's look at home style. So in Manor Park, roughly 88% of detached homes are sort of that wartime home bungalow, and a growing number of infills. So the value is starting to increase. The proximity to downtown is attractive. So infill is what we're seeing. Infill, fun fact, is when people buy property, they demolish the home and then they build. So the flashy word for that we use in the Ottawa area is called infill. So there's a number of infills that are happening in the Manor Park area. Age of homes, Most were built in the late 1940s through 1950s. Why is it underrated? Well, I shared with you, it's so close to Rockcliffe Park that is just that the hot pocket, most expensive, wealthiest area of Ottawa. So a natural like ripple effect happens from there. So you're getting the benefit of being close to Rockcliffe Park without paying that price point. In terms of location and geographically, it's minutes to downtown, Byward Market, Global Affairs headquarters, and the Ottawa River. Lifestyle, you have a village feel, close to trails, parks, schools, but also central convenience. The value gap, as I say, Rockcliffe homes often list well in the $2 to $3 million range. Manor Park offers similar surroundings at a fraction of this cost. So the growth story, quiet infill developments are starting to pop up, and modernization of these older war homes are starting to lift the value. Manor Park is for buyers who want location and community feel without paying the Rockcliffe premium prices. I'm going to take you right now into live time, seeing where that location is. I'm just going to put some parameters on here. So 750 right up to that 1500. I'm going to go sold, and we're going to go back 720. I'm then going to go into my map. I'm taking you intentionally in the back end of our MLS system just to show you exactly how it works. So as we zoom in, this is Manor Park right here. This is sort of the Ottawa core right here. So close proximity to Ottawa, touching Rockcliffe. So this is our most expensive, wealthiest pocket in Ottawa. Right beside it is Manor Park. I'm just going to do a parallelogram here to pull in to show you. And then we're going to go results. And you're going to see different property price point. There's one on the market right now at 1.2 million. I'll pop into that one to give you a sense of what that property looks like. So the age of that property was 1950, on the market for 1.2 million. Looks like a nice detached property. See, you're seeing proximity to the Ottawa River. Double car garage. Inside has been updated. You see fresh pot lights here. It's been opened up. This home did not look like this in 1950 when it was actually built. In terms of location from the downtown core, this is Manor Park, and then this is your downtown area. So you can use Beechwood, which is the road right here, to bring you right into the downtown core, or you have Vanier Parkway right here, or you have Saint Laurent Boulevard. You can connect to the highway and bring you in on that side. In terms of sale prices, as I shared, the range we're seeing here is anywhere from 1.5 top end right down to 760 for some smaller semi-detached property. Now let's take a look at our third underrated property in the Ottawa area. This would be Old Ottawa East. It sits just across from the canal from the Glebe, and it's been overshadowed for decades. So just like we talked about Manor Park right beside Rockcliffe, Old Ottawa East sits right beside the Glebe. Glebe is arguably the second most expensive and wealthiest area in the Ottawa area. So Old Ottawa East gets the benefit of this ripple effect in that it's not specifically right in the Glebe, it's right beside it. So let's dive into it. The average price point for detached homes and larger properties average around $900,000, with condos and townhomes selling lower in the sort of that 8 to 875 range. Might seem expensive when you're thinking like holistically in Ottawa, average price point $727,000, but the average price point in the Glebe, which is right beside, is around that $1.2 to $1.4 million range. So you're getting such momentum from that hot pocket being the Glebe, but not paying the price point. The home styles, it's a true mix. You're going to get heritage houses, mid-century homes, new townhomes, and modern condos. The Greystone Village project, which is a large parcel of property that is getting redeveloped, is adding a ton of new housing options for buyers looking in the marketplace. Also, increasing the value for property that is already there. Age of homes, well, there's a lot of heritage roots, which go back to the late 1800s, with most homes dating from the early mid-20th century, plus a wave of modern infill property. So again, people are buying these properties, demolishing them, using the land, and building larger brand new homes on there. Why is it underrated? Well, the location. It's walking distance to downtown, Lansdowne, and both the canal and Rideau River. They've put in recently a pedestrian bridge, which takes you right from Old Ottawa East right into the Glebe. It's beautiful. There's no traffic in terms of cars on there. It's simply a walking path or cycling across. So really safe, open 12 months of the year. It doesn't shut down over the winter or anything. It's great and gives easy access right into the Glebe. Before that, they had to use Pretoria Bridge or go further down to Bronson. It was a real bottleneck for people to get across into the Glebe. Redevelopment, as I mentioned, Greystone Village has transformed the area with new retail and green spaces alike. The value gap. So Glebe's detached homes average between $1.2 to $1.4 million. Old Ottawa East delivers comparable access at a much lower entry price point. As I shared, you're getting so close to this pocket. It's just this mushroom effect and ripple effect where you're getting all that tailwind without having to pay Glebe prices. The upside, supply is limited and location is unbeatable. So values are poised to climb up. It's essentially the Glebe without the Glebe price tag. And that's a huge opportunity for buyers paying attention. Let's hop into it right now in live time to show you specifically what these properties look like. So I'm just going to cap it just for efficiency. We're going to get into our map zone to give you a live time update of where exactly is the Glebe in relation to Ottawa. So you see right here where my mouse is. This is Ottawa. I'm just going to zoom in, see the Glebe. There we are. Glebe is right here. Old Ottawa East is right here to the east of the Glebe. That's why it's called Old Ottawa East. I'm just going to zoom in. See this line right here, this sort of horizontal line. This is the walking bridge right here that connects essentially Clegg Road right into kind of that 5th Avenue. It's a wonderful walking bridge. You can see the big sort of entry point ramp. It's perfect for people with bikes. Like I've done it. My wife and I, we cross here many times. We take our bike, we cycle all the way up here and around, and then nice ramp down. Before that, as I mentioned, you'd have to take Pretoria Bridge, which is up here, or you'd be using Bronson, which is over here. What a mess. Now there's this bridge that you can easily walk across to get in. So specifically with Old Ottawa East, I'm going to just do my little parallelogram to give you a sense of how that pocket looks. And then I'm going to go back sold. Let's go back a few years just to give you some nice sample size. So 38, let's cut that back to 365. So a year out, 21 properties are coming up. So this one here is an attached property on the market for $850,000. So this is a townhome on the market for 29 days. I'm just going to hop into it to show you what it looks like. It's been updated. You can tell by the floor. It's got pot lights. It's been opened up. This wasn't the original property when it was built in, the early 1900s. It's on Hawthorne Avenue. So in terms of the specific location, the map view of it in relation to Ottawa. So you'll see it's tucked up close to the highway, but still easy access right into the Glebe. I'd like to pull into a few other properties to show you. This one right here is a detached home. So here's a great example. This property here was on the market for $874,000. It sold for $880,000. The location, 44 Heritage Drive. Inside of the property, you see a detached property back here. Nice sort of wartime home. It's been updated slightly inside. They haven't taken out any walls, but obviously the floors have been done, fresh paint. And in terms of location, from a proximity perspective to the Glebe and Ottawa, it's right here. So these people will definitely be able to benefit from that walking bridge. So an attractive area when you're thinking of underrated pockets without paying the high ticket price of, say, the Glebe. You're getting something really close proximity with all of the amenities from there. Next, we have Carlington. Carlington has been overlooked for years, but that's quickly changing. Average price points generally between that $575,000 to $800,000, depending on size, lot, and upgrades. Home styles, predominantly wartime bungalows and small detached homes, increasingly being renovated, expanded, or replaced with infill builds. Age of homes. Most homes were built between the 1940s and 1950s, post-war boom. Why is this area underrated? The location, it's minutes from downtown, right beside the new Civic Hospital build. Affordability, low prices, than in the Civic Hospital, Hintonburg, or Westboro area, which is just, a few minute walk or drive. So you're getting that mushroom effect of that attractive pocket. The growth drivers, the new hospital campus will inject jobs and demand, making Carlington a future hotspot and investor appeal. I work with a lot of investors looking to be in front of that appraisal spike, and we're seeing tons of them focusing on that Carlington area because of the demand, which will be captured very shortly. Carlington is a buy now and hold long-term play. It won't stay underrated for long, especially when the Civic Hospital project is complete. Just going to take you quickly into the Carlington area in terms of proximity. Here's the Ottawa downtown core, and this is Carlington right here. So just do my little map to show you that. So lots of great options right now. I'm just going to pull into this one right here on La Rose to show you $750,000, built in 1954. So that wartime style bungalow post-war. Taking a look at some of the photos, detached property behind. It's been updated inside. Nice hardwood floors, refinished, open concept with the kitchen on the side. And in terms of proximity downtown, it's not bad at all. Highways there. And what you're noticing, likely a consistent theme, is these underrated properties are beside the hot pockets. So this one, Carlington, is right beside Westboro, just like old Ottawa East was right beside the Glebe, and just like Manor Park was right beside Rockcliffe. No surprise. Finally, let's head south to Riverside South. So this is more of a suburb area. This is not going to be a pocket that is beside one of the hot, wealthy areas of Ottawa, but it does offer a lot of opportunity for those families and others looking for brand new convenience in a suburb style neighborhood. So the average price point of detached homes often range between $750,000 and $900,000. Townhomes and semi-detached, $575,000 to $750,000 bracket. The style of property, well, it's a suburban mix. Modern detached semis, townhomes built by Ottawa builders. A number of them. There's, I think, a dozen new home builders in Ottawa flocking to that area because of the demand. They know that the buyers are going to be there. The age of the homes, much different than the other ones we've talked about. These are essentially 20-year-old properties. So built kind of late 90s, right into the 2000s. And there's some being built right now. So a really new community with lots of great construction. Why is it underrated? Well, really, it's the lifestyle, the family-friendly area, parks, schools, and access to Rideau River. Affordability. It's still more affordable than other suburb areas, and it's protected in that there is the river that is beside Barrhaven. So Barrhaven is a massive community. It's sprawling. It takes like 20 minutes to go from one side to the other. Riverside South is, I would say, arguably a better community because it's set up with more infrastructure in line. There's the major road through it, Earl Armstrong, and it connects with Limebank, and then you have access to River Road on that side. It's also really close to the airport, which is a huge appeal for some. Also, the future Upside Stage 2 LRT will connect Riverside South directly to downtown, which solves the commute issue for most. Development. There are tons of new schools, shops, and amenities are being added constantly. Riverside South may not feel underrated forever, but right now, it's a future-proof suburban bet, in my opinion. So now finishing it off to share with you exactly where this location is. This is Ottawa downtown proper, and Riverside South is right here. So you're gonna see it's a commute. You're not walking into Ottawa if you live in Riverside South. But as I shared, it's beside Barrhaven. Look at the size of Barrhaven. Barrhaven is like 6 times the size of Riverside South. It's massive. Where Riverside South is a bit more protected. You have the river right here. To get to Barrhaven, it's easy. There's the bridge right here, but you're not tucked in and amongst all of that congestion. If I make my little parallelogram to show you what some of these properties look like and price points, I'm just going to chop the outliers. So we're comparing apple to apple. So there's 37 matches that are coming on the market right now in live time. So we have attached row units. We have a detached property here for $749. I'm just going to go into that for fun. So this was a price reduced, 35 days on the market, $749.9 detached property, built in 2001, as I said, 37 by 104. Square footage is 1,900 square feet. Great property. 20, 25 years old. You move in here, family set up, 4 bedrooms, location from downtown. Limebank brings you in, Ottawa Airport right here. LRT is coming in right in here where my mouse is, and Barhaven's close by. Safe bet, great spot, good appreciation you'll see. So there you have it, folks. Crystal Beach for waterfront value. You have Manor Park, central, overlooked. Old Ottawa East, Glebe's quiet cousin. You have Carlington, affordable and upcoming, right beside Westboro. And then finishing off with Riverside South, suburban growth story. Here's the bottom line. Ottawa's market isn't just about average prices or downtown trends. It's about micro markets. If you can spot the neighborhoods that are underrated today, you can buy the lifestyle and location and ride that wave of appreciation for tomorrow. And speaking of hidden gems, not every part of Ottawa is underrated. Some Ottawa neighborhoods are home to the ultra rich, where luxury real estate sets the tone for the entire market. In my next video right here, we'll explore Ottawa's ultra wealthy communities and what makes them so exclusive. Be sure to watch it right now.